My name's Jake, and I found a bunch of pornographic magazines inside a dead man's house. Not just any old magazines, Australian softcore pornography from the early 90s. Now, me and my little mate Pete want to invite you to have a look at some pretty rude stuff with us. So hold on to your stiffies, everyone, and welcome to Smut Club 1990. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Smut Club 1990, the only podcast where we peruse softcore Australian pornography from the 90s. My name's Jake Smith, and I'm joined, as always, in the shed by my little mate from a few grades below. It's bloody Peter James. How are you, buddy?
Hello, Jake. I am so fucking good. I'm so excited to be here with you. I started wanking in the car on the way over so that I'd be ready to go by the time we got here. So I'm sitting at half-mast right now, ready to blow as soon as I see something exciting. How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good. I was reading about this morning, fluffers. Fluffer,
In a what?
I just realised that I got so drunk last night, and I haven't eaten today, and I'm a ball of nerves, and now I've got to do a podcast, and I'm like, will I be fine? And my first attempt at a conversation then was just... So that's how I am today, Peter.
What are you reading about fluffers for?
I don't know. I got into a Wikipedia wormhole. It's like someone who sucks... they keep the porn actor
Yeah, I know
hard.
what a fluffer is, but
Yeah.
why are you reading about
Well, I
it?
just thought can't you just use your hand? Like, what is
Just
that?
just a
Surely
tough
you don't
week.
need someone else to wank you off.
A tough week running comedy for you in Brisbane that you're researching alternative careers. And you'd be very good at it. But hey, we don't have time to talk about fluffers, just you and I, because we have a very special guest in the shed, an exchange student here all the way from Adelaide, staying at mum and dad's house with us, reformed pigeon killing man, very nice boy, but absolute lunatic. Please welcome to the shed, James Donald Forbes.
It's great to
McCann,
be here.
everybody.
Great to be here on this degenerate podcast where you talk about Australian pornography from the 90s. It's great to be here. I don't have to look at any of the pornography. I'm trying to keep myself right. It's great to be here having the chat.
For listeners who are not familiar, why would you not want to look at any of the pornography?
Because one doesn't want to be set off, you know? Because obviously masturbation is wrong. And we all struggle with that. Well, we should struggle with that. Some of us just give in and just do it all the time. But I think it is to be struggled with. And I'm happy to come on the podcast where we are to mock this magazine. But I myself could not personally turn mine eye towards the lewd nudes of 1997. You know, I used to think that it was wrong to ask a woman to cover up. I really did. I thought the hijab, how dare they? But now I just think, since coming here, no one's wearing masks in Brisbane. And I go into a shop when I arrive and I see all these women's mouths for the first time. And I went, my God, cover those up. This is too sensual. I haven't seen a mouth inside in Adelaide in 4 months. Just no mouths. And then you get in there and it's mouth. Unbelievable. It's not right.
I can already tell that this is going to be a very enjoyable episode.
Yeah, if we could just, before we continue, I'm just going to stop the timer on when I'm first going to start feeling anxious, and it was 32 seconds.
What, you don't find a mouth a sexual organ?
Oh, it's a beautiful organ, undeniably.
One of my favourite organs.
Oh,
So beautiful that it must be kept safe and discreet and for the husband.
oh my God, you are something else.
You're a fucking creature.
Now, obviously, you're off the tuggin at the moment.
We struggle. I struggle again. I really, genuinely, I look forward to old age when that desires for intercourse shrivel.
I'll tell you what, though, my dad is a very old man. You met my dad on
but
Monday.
he is virile. He has a great sexual energy pouring out of him. I just mean he could do anything, you know?
Yeah,
his beard,
unbelievable.
His beard is the size of 4 smaller men.
Yeah.
Is Pete? You're Pete. Is Steve still having a crack?
Oh, man. As soon as I ticked over to adulthood, it
Yeah.
was like the switch of what he's willing to tell me he's done.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Went, and he's like, oh, happy 18th. Anyway, so there's this prosy, right? And I go, no, stop that.
Oh, you're fucking
He's a
kidding me.
proper little root rat, this man. I don't think it necessarily goes away just because you get older, because I think it's gotten worse for him.
That is.
He seems muscular and strong, though.
He's very muscular and
I
strong.
hope to decay into a sort of Baron von Harkonnen
Well, if you-
lump, although he still has sex.
If you
doesn't
hope
he,
to
be
decay, I've
debatable.
got some really good news for you, James. 'Cause you look awful.
Thank you. I've been setting myself up perfectly for this Omicron variant. I'm riding high into the Omicron. Have I gone too loud? I've gone too loud.
That's all right.
Omicron, get it on. Omicron, I'm so long that I ain't got the Omicron. I want the Omicron.
All right.
Let's
I
get
can-
Omicron it.
I can tell I'm going to have a very... This feels very much like car crash again, where I am mainly here to steer the ship. Today, I feel like I'll be doing a lot of ship.
Boys, we've got to talk about the pornography.
I have. This is a question we've started asking guests when they come on for the first time. It's kind of become a recurring theme. Do you remember your first interaction with pornography, whether it be print, digital? What was your?
Yes, I
Go
remember.
on.
I think it
The
was the
other
same
ones.
I think everybody when we were in. I was in like primary school on an excursion in a park, and there was a titty mag in a bush.
This
This is
getting
insane.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So-
people won't understand this. The younger people that titty mags just used to be scattered chaotically in bushes right around the country.
This is unbelievable. because
We're going
this
to have to edit together a compilation of people around Australia
Has everybody
saying
said that?
like
Almost-
4 in a row.
Yeah, it's obscene.
It's like white dog poo. You used to see it all the time.
We've also said white dog poo on here
That was
multiple
like-
times.
Really? Well, they're the great mysteries of things that have disappeared, along with the dream of home ownership. And where's that man who used to host Deal or No Deal? Where's Andrew O'Keefe at?
He's out there scattering pornography.
Remember Burjo's catchphrase?
Oh, Burjo's still on Twitter.
Yeah, I know.
He's great.
Who's Burjo, sorry?
Oh, you're too young. You don't remember Burjo's catchphrase?
Burjo's catchphrase.
Oh, it's
no,
a
you were born at
fantastic
the
show. I
wrong
remember
time.
watching it at the back of the gym in Indooroopilly when Dad would go to work out.
Where I'm sure many above board activities took place
Oh,
at the back of the gym.
Absolutely. No, I'd be out in like the little smoking area or whatever outside as a child, just out like courtyard, and they have a telly on, and they'd have Burjo's catchphrase, and they had like a hold on, I'm just going to pause to get this dog outside.
Burjo's catchphrase. Burjo's catchphrase. Burjo's catchphrase. It's a Burjo's. What year were you born? You would have been born like 2001.
2001, no, 98.
2000? 98.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, and it was like it had a like a phrase like the I don't know what's burn the hand worth two in the bush, right? And they'd have something like. And they'd have something. It'll be illustrated, and then people have to. What do you have to do? You have to pick away.
Oh, there were many variants on the game that we don't remember that lasted 2 seasons. But it was like there'd be a picture and you'd have to guess the phrase. And I think if you'd answer questions, that some of the picture would become more visible somehow. And then eventually you'd go, wait a minute, there's a bird and a hand, and there's 2 birds in a bush. Was that
Pictures
2 bush bird hand?
Yeah, it was fucking great. Burjo's catchphrase, fantastic little show. Watched a lot
I
of
think
it.
he's a Perth man as well. He's a personality.
Perth.
That's what they call him there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that really.
Like Basil Zemplis.
Welcome to Perth, Perthlings.
Do you know Basil Zemplis?
Oh,
Personality.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. It just
Did
sounds
you
like
not
a
know that
lisp.
that's what they say there? And then they say the women are perfect.
Oh,
How many
I'm
puns-
never visiting this state.
Oh, no.
This is
I'm never
genuinely
going
how they
over
talk.
there.
we're due to go
This
to
is how
Perth.
Uber
That's
drivers
all
speak.
off. That's all off.
Well, especially with this motherfucking Omicron variant. Shit, son. This Omicron. Omicron? Oh my God, Omicron. Someone
right.
get Macron on the phone. There's an Omicron.
Okay, so
Hey, wait, what if the president of France was Irish? He'd be Omicron. Oh, baby.
all right. We probably have time to
Metrocon Omicron. That's what it's getting on.
go. All right. So today, because of your aversion to nudity and
Hey, I'm just trying not to find myself triggered while I'm over here by the sex and sexuality. I was in a op shop recently, and they had those little Japanese figurines. I was just walking past, and I saw these little Japanese figurines with where they put the underpants on them. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those little miniatures of like sexy ladies with like in a weird position, such that you're just walking past, like,
like
oh,
little
yeah, that's
Sailor Moon.
A little
Sailor
schoolgirl with
Moon.
her underpants out, and you go, what sort of fucking culture is generating this sort of absolute nonsense? And also, like, why is this being sold in a Christian op shop with an extensive range of Bibles and rosaries? Like, I know we've got to raise money to look after these children, but is sexually, stimulating children, making children a sex object, is that how we're going to get the rest of them out of poverty? I don't fucking know, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah, it's very off-brand. I know, Christian, I'm sure I've done it. I can't believe it myself.
No. Sex in children. The church says no.
Imagine, but these are girl children, though. It's very important. These
Oh,
are
yeah. Okay,
heterosexual pedophiles.
now I'm confused.
But imagine
Now I don't understand.
imagine going there and buying that model with the lady at the, yes, we're going to buy a magazine and a t-shirt and that wonderful little fuckable doll.
Because you couldn't just walk in and you get the doll exclusively.
Oh,
just
no, you'd have
buy
to
the
get-
4 dolls. There's like that old thing of like, you get condoms and you're like, I also need shampoo.
Mate, they had,
you
they had
make
a lot
little
of Graham
thing.
Greene novels. They had Guide to Australian Cooking in the 1970s. Why would you? Power of One.
Oh, fuck. Angels and Demons.
Oh,
There's
mate.
a lot of copies of that getting around.
I'll tell you what, the demon's coming out of me when I see that little plasticine model with the underpants.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go.
I almost want to send you to the bathroom now for a wank just to level you out.
No.
Come on.
No.
We'll fluff. We'll do the fluffing.
So this week, instead of doing a horny one, we did have a very horny...
Let's not pretend that's not why we're doing the other one. It's because it was about the Masai warriors of Kenya, and you were worried that I'd take it to an uncomfortable place.
And if history has told us anything in the last 10 minutes, what a fucking decision we made.
I have such a veneration for the Masai. I'm a big Masai fan. They jump up and down.
And what is a Masai? For the people that don't know, because I didn't know.
What is it? It's a Kenyan
You know a
tribe.
massage? You know a massage?
Yes.
It's the
It's not like
it's
that
the
at all.
Latin plural, Masai.
What are the Messiah? They're a tribes people.
Very powerful tribes people of Kenya. I actually have a book on traveling to East Africa and living. Is I think what it's called.
Look, I'm gonna read the first. Well, this is not the article that we're going to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read the first paragraph of this, and we can just judge if this is the first thing. And we can judge how much of a minefield this would be. It says, a married mum of 3 has decided to chuck it all in and go to Africa, where she plans to spend the rest of her life rooting a fearsome Masai warrior who just happens to have a gigantic dick. Now, what do you
think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he just happens to have it. I think the Masai are known for their large dicks. There's a wonderful man named Paul. His stage name he's in Adelaide. I don't know what his real last name is, but he insists that the white MCs bring him on stage as Paul the Black because it makes them uncomfortable. All right, coming up next is Paul the Black, everybody. And he loves it. But he goes, I was on the Wikipedia page going through all the different tribesmen, and he's like... He's like, that tribe is so gay. They're the gay tribe. And I was like,
Paul the Black one.
yeah, he was saying that, and I was like, they don't say that about on that Wikipedia. It doesn't say that's the gay tribe. There's like 8 tribes or something. And I go, what about the Masai? He's like, they have the big dicks. That's the big dick tribe. I was like, okay, cool, Paul. Love
So
that.
already,
What tribe does Paul identify with? I reckon I'd be going with the big dick tribe if I was Paul.
No, I think
I'd
he
be like,
was-
I'm not one of the other tribes. I'm in the fucking Masai, big dick tribe. Yeah.
I will confirm which tribe. Maybe it wasn't even the Masai who had the big dicks. You know, what do I know?
I'm just going to go out on a limb and assume a good majority of all the tribes have big dicks.
Oh.
I'm just going to say that.
I got onto a lot of Kenyan Instagram pages because I thought maybe I could become famous in Kenya. And I was like, they speak English,
I reckon you
right?
could be famous in Kenya for being the most quickly murdered person to ever step
hey,
foot in Kenya.
remember that silly white cunt who came over here and we all fucking murdered him?
No.
Hello, and bang. oh no.
My goodness, you're fantastically tall.
Oh, we're going to have so much food for the
I don't
kids.
understand. I don't understand. Look, the people of Kenya deserve my comedy as much as any other country. So I think, why wouldn't we go to Kenya? Why would anyone kill me? I love the people of Kenya.
Yeah, it's not about how you feel about the people of Kenya.
It's how they feel about the way you feel about
I'm
them.
told they
And the way you express it, and the words which you
there's
say.
a comparatively relaxed post-colonial atmosphere in Kenya at the moment. They're
I
part of the
think you would
Commonwealth.
get off the plane and go, take me to the big dick people! And then they would go, get the fuck off this island.
From what I've
Island.
seen, experiencing Kenyan
Do you think Kenya's an island?
Oh, I think probably parts. I reckon there's an island somewhere.
Very
my
wrong.
goodness.
Surely it's
Well,
in the middle
actually,
of Africa.
you know, they do have a port. I've left my phone over there. Does Kenya have an island?
Hey, Google,
Fuck me.
are there any islands in Kenya? Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
Google arching up
Your
there.
Google yelled at me. My Google's got the data off, so it didn't work.
Since mobile
Shut the
data
fuck. Hey, Google. Does Kenya have any islands?
This will be good.
I hope they do.
According to Travel Start Kenya, the Kenyan coast is riddled by many of these tiny islands and headlands, granted,
Well.
considering that's where the Indian Ocean and all that
Hey, Google,
seawater
shut
is
up.
located.
Fucking.
This is weird listening to both Googles at once, but we found out Kenya has
We
islands now.
activated two Googles. They both said the same thing, and both of them said that you're a dumb cunt. That's just what Google said. I might be paraphrasing, but I heard 3 islands. Jake's
He
a
was
dumb
looking
cunt.
at Jake when he said that, yes. All right, now let's find out about this woman and her Masai.
Okay, all right. You know what? Do you reckon we should just do this?
I mean, yeah. What could possibly? It's fine.
Okay,
It'll be
I think
fine.
we've got it all out of the way now. So,
What noises do Kenyans make?
okay, it says, "Can you believe it?"
Oh, that's pretty
Can't
good.
believe
It's
we're doing
pretty
this.
good.
Can you believe it? It says, "Mad Mum roots Masai man meat." Now that is with alliteration features
Great
heavily in
percussive.
this.
That's
Say
what
that
Triple
again.
M actually stands for.
Masai man meat.
We're going to tune into Mad Masai, mate. We've got footy, we've got rock and roll.
All right, time for the secret sound.
Is that Mad Masai, mate?
Hey, you won yourself a trip to the fucking islands of Kenya.
Oh my god! Put the islands of Kenya on our festival lineup, by the way.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
with all the phrases, we're going to do a shirt up. It's going to be like a Coachella looking one.
that's nice.
The islands of Kenya.
Shout out to a good friend of ours, Jamison Gilders, listener of the show. She's made a Smut Club 1990 festival lineup of phrases that could be bands.
Yeah.
So we'll quickly. I'm just going to do
Islands of
a few of
Kenya.
them. Home blokes, Darren Hamster and the Mutts, Swimming Pool of Spunter, the Chuzzies, Do Your Bickies, Bat Sheila, Hunky
Chuzzies.
Matt, Cashman Feet Tor Snyder. What a track.
Great.
Groggy Grandad, Who is Arthur Clarke? Arthur Clarke's Quiet Home Life.
I like that. Arthur Clarke's Quiet Home Life.
Derbyshire Bandstand, Clam Cam.
Arthur
Dr.
Clarke's
Lucius
Quiet
Jones.
Home Life is the opposite band to the Crazy World of Arthur Brown.
Anyway, let's
You know
talk
the
about these
Crazy World of
Kenyans.
Arthur Brown?
No.
I'm not familiar.
Okay.
but yeah,
Fire! Do, do, do! I'll take you to burn. You don't know that song?
I don't know that song, but I'm familiar with it
I
as
am
a
the god
phrase.
of hellfire! You don't know that?
I don't know it as a song, but I'm familiar with it as a phrase the Kenyans will use when you land there.
I don't understand why the people of Kenya wouldn't absolutely love me and allow me to perform at their concert halls.
We'll do a poll in the Instagram. Continue on.
Now let's focus on someone who does love Kenyan people. And sorry, that made it sound like you don't. This is okay.
Hey, do
That
the Ken-
definitely does.
I've
Okay.
been reading a lot about the Kenyans and their history.
Okay.
Go on.
They're a wonderful people. The
Okay.
safari, the unity, the
You
Mau
are-
Mau rebellion,
You are a beacon of chaos. Go on.
the
Talk.
train lines.
All right,
Talk
we're gonna
about
get
the
this.
Kenyan.
Okay.
And the woman.
Pommy housewife Cheryl Mason, 34, has got the serious hots for Daniel Lekimencho, 24, large penis tribal dancer of Samburu, northeast Kenya, who she met.
It's a
Wait.
large
It
penis
says
tribal
yes. I'm not. This is verbatim. It said who she met and fucked
Oh,
on a
gee.
recent holiday.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And while she's waiting for her hubby to save for her hubby to save up enough
Hey, how about you start again?
fucking hell, I'm scattered. And while she's waiting for her hubby to save up
Come on, you got this.
And while she's waiting for her hubby to save up enough cash to send her back to Africa, Cheryl's
Sorry,
walking.
so her husband is sending her back to
I don't
Africa
know, I
or bringing
don't-
her
I
out?
don't know.
She's a housewife and she's having sex with this man. So is this man a bull? Is her husband a simpy cuck?
I think that might be right. Yeah. Because
Oh my.
oh my god, so she's waiting to get her actual husband
Yeah.
to send her back to Africa.
Her white
my.
little dicked husband.
It says here, while she's waiting for that, Cheryl's walking around town looking like a complete dork in tribal war paint, pining for Dan's Titanic Todger. And I will just describe, do you want to describe, this is cultural appropriation if I've ever seen it. What's that woman? It's not dirty, James, so you can look.
Okay, I'm not looking at either.
Describe what she looks
Oh
like.
my, she's only 34? She looks much older.
She looks awful.
No, but that's not cultural appropriation. She's a part of, she's wearing mini beads and lots of face paint and, gosh, he doesn't look like he has a huge dick, does he? But I say, I'm sorry, her husband is sending her back? This is what, oh, my God, she's standing with her family wearing all the paint and stuff. Oh, that's so sad.
Oh, is it a photo of her with her?
Have a look at this. Have a look.
Can I have a little look?
Cheryl, yes, this is a picture of them and the family.
Oh,
if I may read.
fucking hell.
They go into detail. Cheryl's husband, Mike, isn't just accepting her twisted love. I don't like it being called a twisted love. But for a massively membered Masai dancer, he's actually, capital letters, helping her go back for more. Mike has organised garage sales to raise money for the airfare, and he even looks after the kids while Cheryl just stares at pictures of her tropical toy boy and plays with glass beads and war paint.
She's had a mental collapse.
This
is what's
is not
happened.
true. This is a woman. No, she's holding the.
Mate, imagine
They're working class English people. So here we go. Must sound crazy, especially when we don't have enough money to pay for bills and for all our calls to Kenya, but have phone disconnected. He told the picture. But despite everything, I still love Cheryl, and I feel we must do whatever is best for the children.
mate.
What's best for the children?
I don't have
All right,
any
kids.
bitterness or hatred towards her or Daniel, but I've ended up having therapy to help me through it. I can't do an
That is
accent.
so funny to me. We got to do whatever is going to help the children. All right, kids, we're doing this for you. We're sending your mother to Africa to get fucked crazy style.
Also, the kids are in that photo. Could you imagine the day they came over to the photographers there? Mum, Dad, what's this for? Don't you worry about that. Just pose for the nice man.
Is this a reputable magazine? Is this necessarily true? I hope it's true.
No, it's not.
I hope it's true.
Pass it over here for me.
Yeah, please. I just it doesn't. But I think this speaks to something very deep, regardless of the truth of it, about our, who we are. Is that we have an infinite love for the person we're not an infinite, but a huge love for the people we're with, and we want to make them happy to the extent that we'll debase ourselves and convince ourselves that things like open relationships aren't just absolutely disgusting. And then also we have just an extraordinary yearning for sexual novelty. I mean, just there's no end to it. Have you ever seen that WWE documentary with Jake the Snake Roberts?
Wow.
Have you ever seen it?
Corner.
You are.
No, but he goes like, he's on tour and he goes like, go on tour, leave your wife, get out there. I don't know how he's talking. I don't think he had that accent. He goes, you have sex with a girl, then you're having sex with a couple girls, then you're having sex with toys, then you're having sex with 4, 5, 6 different women and toys. And then you go home and you try and make love to your wife. You just can't do it anymore, right? Because the sexual novelty has so perverted him. And so here we have this woman who thinks that her happiness comes from, going to Kenya and having this sort of... frankly, uncomfortable racial, I'm fine with mixed race couples, but it seems like she's fetishizing the glass beads and things like that. And then the husband wants to make that right for her. And the children suffer, but he does it because he thinks it's good for the children.
It says here, husband Mike, who's stuck at home looking after the 3 kids, while Cheryl goes, hump happy.
Hump happy.
In darkest Africa. Well, you didn't have to. I think this magazine is...
I think one must just it's showing its age. We just have to love each other and our marital partner in a way that is unitive and procreative and beautiful. Although I will say, when gay marriage went through, I think it was the Islamic Council of Australia. This is very funny because they came out against...
They did. Well, yeah.
They came out against gay marriage, right? But the Christians were all coming out and going, marriage is between a man and a woman. And to the Islamic Council of Australia, they wrote, we believe very strongly marriage is between men and women. The plural being very important.
That is good.
Isn't that discreet?
Oh, very good.
He says here, I've got another quote from this man. It says, I knew our marriage wasn't perfect.
I don't want you to read the quote from the man. I want his to do the voice of the man.
Okay.
Hello. What I did were, I left my wife.
Give it back to him. I liked his voice.
No,
more.
I don't do it very well.
No, I liked it.
I'd like to do it better.
Give it back. I'm not going to listen to you. Give it back to him.
Okay, but then you have to not go off on an insane tangent because we are 25 minutes in. Okay, so
Just
it goes
read the
from
quote
there,
and give it
I
back
knew
to
our
the-
marriage, and then it continues over there. This is a very funny quote.
I knew our marriage weren't perfect, but I never imagined Cheryl giving up her home and a family to live with an African tribesman. He mused. Cheryl had gone to Mombasa, which is Kenyan for filthy port where white Sheilas go in search of black blood, such as good cries.
Oh my God.
Isn't it sometimes very nice? Because I buck as much as anyone against the PC orthodoxy that's choking the life out of our society. But then sometimes you do look back and you go, fuck, strides have been made. And it is very important that some things are left in the past. Absolutely disgraceful. With a girlfriend because she found her marriage claustrophobic. Okay. Dan was a dancer in a tacky Hotel 4 show. Why attack that? Why attack the caliber of the dancing? Where pissed tourists stare at half naked natives. This is repulsive. This is a truly... What year did this come out
1994.
Well, fuck me if I don't want to join the Greens now.
Can I have a little...
I'm sorry. He introduced himself to me after the dancing. Cheryl told us in a husky whisper, which I didn't quite capture.
Should have read ahead.
Husky whisper.
That's the best she can do.
What it was? In the park, husky whispering at each other all day.
Husky. Go on,
There
James.
was this black warrior towering over me dressed in red tribal costume, red bulging loincloth, covered in beads and red paint. I found him intimidating yet compelling.
Red bulging loincloth. Add that to the festival lineup.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Ding, ding, ding.
Read. That was parentheses. Towering over me dressed in red tribal costume, parentheses, read, bulging loincloth. It might have been a red bulging loincloth. But
Peter, would you like to read it from here?
I'd like to have a little look.
Hold on. Supercharged Daniel knows as much about being a warrior as you know about pre-war Norwegian postage stamps.
What?
But
Which I imagine you would know a lot about,
Yeah.
actually, for some reason. I feel like that's something you have a high
depends
level of
which
expertise in.
war, really.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But he's fucking good at chatting up frustrated housewives. All right, you can.
So he's
say
a bit of
on
a
it.
Lothario.
I've been handed the magazine. All right, just from that. Yep, okay, I'm good. Okay. Oh, God, she's fucking wild to look at. Okay.
She's what?
Jesus Christ.
Please, the Lord's name in vain.
Apologies.
That's all right.
So he took Cheryl sightseeing the next day, and before you could say, shit, she'll never be able to cram all of that up there, he was up to... Oh,
That's the band name, surely. Islands of Kenya. That's perfectly fine, but shit, she'll never be able to cram all of that up there.
So he took...
Cram.
So he took Cheryl sightseeing the next day, and before you could say shit, she'll never be able to cram all of that up there, that capitalised, of course, he was up to his nuts in Cheryl's guts.
Oh my goodness, that's delightful.
Fucking repulsive.
That's really
to
lovely.
his nuts in
Cheryl's guts.
Ow! Thank you for coming to Smut Club Fest. Wow.
I love
God.
it. I love it.
Oh.
Come on, come
It keeps going.
Fuck.
Come on.
All right. So,
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
All right,
fuck,
all right,
fuck.
okay.
Oh.
So
Cheeks
let's
are
all just slow down. So we've got Daniel, and we've got, what's her name?
Who gives a
Cheryl.
fuck? Cheryl, yeah.
Pommy housewife, fall in love
Yeah.
with a well-endowed Kenyan
Tribesman.
dancer.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
Masai.
now go.
Daniel took her out into the donga to meet his 15 brothers and sisters
Yes.
before giving her a right royal rogering in a hut coated in cow shit.
You both love that, but I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if that's insulation. Maybe that's good.
No, it's just the most backwards, offensive,
Well,
insane.
Daniel didn't take her to his condo, did he? I mean, if the man has 14 siblings, he's got 14 siblings.
Oh,
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think either of us are laughing about the siblings.
Well, what are we finding funny? The cow shit?
Just the way that's all been said. A right royal rogering in a
A
hut
right
coated
royal
in cow
rogering is
shit.
pretty good. Hut coated in cow. You know what I like there is they land the alliteration early on. A right royal rogering, and then the hut full of cow shit. They could have kept going with some alliteration, but they've gone. It's just nice. It's just nicely done. That's all.
Jesus.
It's an intermingling of the poetic and the prosaic, which I suppose is what it's sort of like when you're getting fucked in a shed covered in poop. You'd go, this is beautiful, and this is plain, and this is beautiful.
I really like you. Shit, It's a meddling of the poetic and the prosaic.
A right royal Rogering.
I was like, that's a really nice way. That's the most eloquent way this magazine's ever been described, and then he just went off the fucking cliff.
This guy can really write. You know.
You think so?
Obviously, he's a great prose stylist. Come on.
Okay, all right. I feel sick. Go. Keep going.
Oh, so hut coated in cow shit.
Hut coated in cow shit. Oh, coated in cow shit.
Hut coated in cow shit.
Hut coated in cow. No, C&C. That's
Hut coated in cow shit. All right. Naturally, Cheryl came down with a hideous disease and had to return to England to recuperate.
Okay. Poor Carol.
Naturally.
I hope it's not one particular disease.
Probably respiratory after the cow shit. Wouldn't be AIDS, would it?
You'd hope not.
Yeah.
Hideous. It didn't put her off, but... And now that she's better, she's saving up to go back for some Masai man meat. Mm-hmm. Oh, more quotes if you want to do, Cheryl.
Yeah. No, you give Cheryl a go. You've got the talent for accents.
Remember Husky.
Help me. I suppose people will say that I'm bonkers, she said. And then it goes, brackers, okay, you're bonkers. That's the magazine going, yeah, you are bonkers.
Yeah, you're fucked in the head.
And that's
Cheryl.
Ed. Ed said that.
Oh, that's Brad Boxall, also known as Boxy, is the editor of this magazine. I looked up Brad Boxall. He used to work on Young Talent Time.
Is he still alive?
I think so. Look, we'll have a quick look. Maybe I'll search his Instagram.
While you're looking, I'll continue reading because she's still got more to say.
Check his LinkedIn.
Right. I suppose people will say that I'm bonkers, she said, but I feel as though I'm in love for the first time. You read about these women who go to Africa and fall in love with a local and think, she must be mad. Yes, Cheryl, you do, don't you? Mm. So they think that they've kind of put...
Cheryl's mad.
They're chiming in what they think about Cheryl, which is...
And her love.
It's not for you to do. You're a journalist. Keep it unbiased. Just tell me what's happening.
Is that the end of the article?
That's the end of the article. And
I've got to say...
Oh, then, hang on really quickly. Oh. Right down the bottom, it's got a photo comparing... so it's got the house she lives in England.
And the house she will be living in.
And the cow shit place that she lives in when she goes to Kenya. And it says, it may seem very stupid for Cheryl to be giving up her nice comfy house for a root in a mud hut in Africa. And in fact, it is.
No, but I think that goes to show how decadent the West has become. That even with all our modern contrivances in our family, we yearn for, the place that was desecrated by colonialism to build our altar of progress. And that's where she wants to go. That's where the real energy is. It's actually sort of like a D.H. Lawrence novel, that article, but much quicker and better written.
Look, you've dived into this on sort of like this emotional, deep level, but I think to sum up the entire story, I could take a direct quote from this underneath the picture that just says, Cheryl's leaving her kitties for this bloke's big dick. That's most certainly just
I would say that's the tagline, isn't it? It'd be called Triple M up the top, and then that's the subtitle, Cheryl's leaving her husband for this bloke's big dick.
And it's like, is it an emotional, is it a yearning for a new life, or is it just this dick is fucking ginormous, man? And
I'm going to leave my family. I'm going to dress myself up as him, almost identical to him.
Not completely identical, but yeah.
There's
no
way
what feature is different?
By the way, there's no way he's happy about that, is there? There's no way that he's pleased. He's shacked up. He's had a one-night stand with a woman who's come to town. He's probably done it many times. Yeah. And then she's thrown her whole life away to fly there and live with him. He's probably like,
but he was sending off
lady out of here.
Weird signals. He brought her back to his hut.
Yes.
And introduced her to the family, 15 brothers and sisters.
He busted his nut, gave out 15 high fives and said, I won't see you for a while.
Gave her a fucking cough. Just here you go. Here's a little bit of Kenyan flu for you. Due to the shit on the top of my hut.
But that's what your
back to
housemate
the
does
UK
when he
with
brings
you,
a lady
Cheryl.
over here. He's got to, whenever you bring a lady home, you have to. This is my housemate. This is the dog. This is the guy who's staying with us right now. You say hi to the people you live with. Well, what else do? You just bring Cheryl back to your house. You go, Stephen, Andrew, Lucy, Chloe, Mirabelle, Guinevere, Razzmatazz, get out!
It's too fun to be racist.
Razzmatazz isn't that could be a Kenyan name.
Razzmatazz.
I'm naming my son Razzmatazz.
What did you told me something very interesting about
Razzmatazz.
Have you heard what he wanted to call your son?
I had a couple names. Freddie Hercules. for any razzmatazz Hercules.
What is your? Are you able to say what your son's actual middle name is?
No.
It's
No, we disappear them from the internet. It is. Will you edit this out?
That is
that?
a sick middle name, actually.
That's
yeah,
that.
it's very cool. I mean, completely unhinged, and he will grow up with a lot of problems.
Well, we didn't give him to him as a first name, but I really wanted to. But
I'm glad that there is a
I'm happy
voice
he
of
got this
reason
name.
in your life, in the form of your wife.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
What a wonderful woman.
You
I
need
honestly, when
wrangling.
she leaves me for a fat schlonged Kenyan, that's going to be very, very difficult for me. I won't be paying for her to go over. I'll be raging against the dying of the light of our marriage. But I've got a big fat cock, so I don't think I have too much to worry about. That's not my issue. My issue is the skill with which I make love, not the equipment that God has given me.
You don't think you're skilled at lovemaking?
I think I'm dreadful. I wouldn't want to have sex with me. Possibly that's down to the heterosexuality, but maybe it's because I just don't have it.
Can you believe it?
Can you believe it, eh? All right. Well,
Well, that was absolutely fucking tremendous.
I,
that was great. I had a great time.
How much of that do you think makes the final edit?
I reckon we got about 3 minutes.
I think that much like your comedy,
Yeah.
it's just one that you prepare people early on. Go, look, if you haven't tuned out in the first 10 minutes, the rest is actually on you, listeners. So
Yeah.
for you people listening right now at the end of the episode, well done. You weathered the storm and we got through it.
To be honest, I'm looking at that. I think, looking at us, reflecting on the past, how long has this been going for?
That's what do you mean? How long?
Episode? How long have we been
Oh,
recording?
it's around the 38-minute mark.
I don't think in the way we've spoken in the last 38 minutes, I don't think there was anything there.
So I'd like everyone who's listening to the podcast right now, just grab your phone or
think I have an ear
wake your laptop
infection.
or whatever you need to do. I'm going to say 38 minutes, and you tell me how far through it is on your podcast right now, and that'll give you an indication of what we cut out.
Yeah, I
Because-
don't think anything's going to get cut out.
I don't think I said anything untoward. I love the people of Kenya. I want to come and be famous in Kenya. I want to put that away. Sorry, I was just. He opened up the page to some seriously
How would you
discomforting flesh. You look, I believe, like a big, fat, ugly, gross white woman. Listen, let me tell you, the Nazis were nudist. The Nazis, all this openness to the body. This is a Nazi plot to make people, more comfortable with who they are and to take away the social conditioning so that you can reprogram to commit atrocities. I mean, that's what this magazine is all about. It's fucking putting people on a train. At the end of the day, that's where your pornography leads you. I'll tell you that for free.
Thanks for listening to the past 14 minutes.
Thanks everyone for well, it's been a fun run. So this is the final episode of Smut Love.
Just know that if you've ever jerked off to pornography, you're a Nazi sympathiser. That's what.
No, it's just that they can get you.
Shit.
You're opening yourself up for them to come and get you.
Well,
You've got to be strong.
Do you know who publishes this magazine? It was published by
Adolf Hitler.
Actually, we've already had an article featuring Hitler in this, but no, they weren't fans of. I know it's not a Nazi publication because they weren't fans
Schindler's
of it.
tits.
Schindler's tits.
My first ever written paid writing gig was for Bauer Media through Zoo magazine.
Oh, so they must.
All right, mate. Let's get the clippers out and shave that head now. You fucking hypocrite. What are you talking
No,
about?
I'm
Fucking
reformed.
quizzling little turncoat.
Yes, I'm a hypocrite. I've rejected Nazi pornographers. Excuse me. I should have been loyal.
James, why are you winking and elevating your one hand?
Stop that. No, that's
Why
not.
are you walking over to put on a big coat?
And why are you walking in that specific way that you're almost...
Now people will know that you're lying because I don't have the hamstrings for a goose step.
I don't have the hamstrings, but the ideology very much.
Why'd you leave the cult, James? I didn't have the hamstrings for it.
Frozen shoulder. Can't get up there.
White supremacy is a young man's game.
That'd be a wonderful art house film about a man who wants to join the Nazi party but is too physically handicapped. And then they go, wait a minute, is that as good as you can goose step? And he goes, yeah, it's that's barely above the knee. Well, I know. And they're like, we actually might have to
But
put a
he's
little badge on you.
But he's a really good Nazi.
Yeah, and
Right.
they're like, how far are we willing to take our anti-disabled policies to people we love?
He's a great Nazi, and the whole film's just physical therapy, so he's good enough to do the goose step.
It's like the king fucking speech. He's got to go to a therapist to get healthy enough to be a Nazi. And in the end, he's gloriously killed in Stalingrad.
Fuck me.
Oh my god, this has been a lot to take on considering we're both 12.
Oh, is that the premise of the
And
show?
children.
I am
Yeah,
also disgracefully hungover. I've just come good. I can speak. By the end of the episode, I can speak, but this has been a real
Let's start
journey
the
for me.
episode now. I think we just ignore everything that's come before. The episode starts now. So, boys, I hear there's this echidna with 4 penises.
No, we do not have the time. We do not have the time. But we've got to get out of the show.
I got to get to the Gold Coast
We've
to
got
see
to,
how
yeah,
many
we've got to
tickets
do
I've sold.
things.
It's
No,
not a
we're in
lot.
character. You don't have to get the Gold Coast.
No,
You've got your
no.
tests. You've got your big school tests coming out tomorrow. You have to revise for.
Now, James,
You're not a man and you're not a comedian. You're a schoolboy.
I'm a schoolboy.
yeah. Now, James, where can people? I'll just tell people where they
Yeah,
can find
thank
you.
you.
It's JD. I'm your manager. I can. This is my job now. You can find James Donald Forbes McCann on social media at JDF McCann on Instagram. You can go YouTube.com/ Is it James Donald Forbes McCann?
It's all JDF McCann.
Or it's all JDF.
Yeah,
What was
JDF
it previously?
McCann.
What was your previous YouTube? It was James the
It was
Man.
James the Man McCann, and
I
you convinced
fucking
me to
hated
change
that.
it.
I absolutely fucking hated that. So I'm very glad you did.
was 16.
Look him up on Facebook. Very good.
No podcast yet. But, I mean, do you boys have to go somewhere? We could record the first episode of the James Donald Forbes McCann podcast right now. Should we do
I
it?
feel like I've cancelled myself.
Have you got to go somewhere? Half an hour. Give me half an hour. We'll do the James Donald Forbes McCann podcast.
Well, we'll
who
finish this
enjoyed
one
this.
and then we'll do
Yeah,
that.
if
All
we
right,
could
let me
finish
get my
this
phone.
episode.
No. Okay, we
Okay.
walked away from the microphone, but the show, that's the end of the episode this week. If you want to go and see James live, just know it's going to be very hard to do that now because you're his manager and will not be able to get him work very effectively, in my opinion. But all you need to know is if you live in Brisbane, you need to go to Good Chat Comedy Club and go to see lots and lots and lots and lots of shows because they're all very good. And thank you for all the paid work you have given me in the past and will continue to give me in the future. Thank you, Jake. And Laughing Out Comedy in Cairns if you want to go for a little giggle every single Monday night. Please follow it. Get along there. I'll be back on December 10th and you will be there and myself from December 10th with Mel Buddle up in
That's
Far
correct.
North
So, guys, if you go to goodchatcomedy.com, you can get tickets to see Mel Buddle live in Townsville, Mackay, Atherton, Port Douglas, and Cairns. It's
gonna be so much
and
fun.
if
I
you
cannot
enter promo code SmutClub1990, I think. Yeah.
It'll be something. Try Smut Club and then try Smut Club 1990. I'm sure one of those will work.
Yeah, one of them works. And you can get cheap tickets.
Anyway, Datson's coming home. Mum and Dad are here. Let's put these stiffies away.
Thank you.
Let's go and hang out. Let's go play some sports.
And don't forget to go and listen to the James Donald Forbes
fuck off.
McCann podcast. It's just launching now.
And that's a wrap. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. See you next week. Bye.